We're back. Lots of topics to discuss today, so much so I put them in the video description in case you want to click through and move through them a little quicker. If you have any questions for me to answer on the next video, you can leave them in the comments. I will do so. I'll also leave my email address in the video description. And if you send me a question through email, I'll assume you want it read anonymously. But let's jump right into it. Platinum card breaks. That's right. Our guy G had a rough week last week. We released a 13-minute video that was kind of like G kind of in this real life version of The Sopranos. I think G's more like AJ Soprano than Tony. But anyways, G's done the smart thing over the last couple days and just laid low. That's exactly what you should do. This will all blow over in a couple weeks. Some of their controversy will come out, or this will kind of all blow over. Let's hold anyone though in the hobby that asks you for money, whether it be group breakers, whether it be somebody trying to get you to sign up for an app or some kind of pricing service or grader, these grading companies. Let's hold them to at least the highest standard as you guys kind of want to hold me to. There's a couple group breakers that are still around that are far worse than that are far worse in my opinion than platinum card breaks. You have the live case break guy, who the guy running the company literally got arrested for having sex with somebody underage. GTS distribution still sells to this guy. These guys still to this day break. How do we know this guy that got arrested is totally out of the company? Maybe these breaks are filling up his commissary while he's in jail or whatever, or paying for his legal bills. Backyard breaks. Backyard breaks literally stole a card on camera. Whatever you think, they were gonna, whatever was in that Trevor Lawrence gold pack. If that Trevor Lawrence card wasn't in that pack, they were gonna give it away. So they stole that card on camera. Then you have like guys like Josh Luber defending them and basically saying it's a nothing burger. That's how stupid he is. But let's hold these people who ask you for money to a very high standard. That's half the reason why I get on these videos and talk about this stuff, because these guys should be held to a high standard. They're asking for your money. They're asking for your business. The other reason why I get on these videos is just because I enjoy it. So anything that happened last week with Platinum, my brother and I have done that 20 times over on the podcast, whether it be to Mike Smith and expose that, he had 5 felonies, the owner of Cardboard Connection, and, he's gone. Tom Fish, who's actually, I've had confrontation, the owner of Blowout Sports Cards, who I've actually had confrontations in person multiple times. I mean, the beef goes on and on. Cardfather X, who's a college football offensive lineman, who almost beat me up at a national. So anything that happens with last week with Platinum card breaks is light work. For me, and they should just lay low. It'll all blow over. And my message to everybody out there, if I have one, if you want to listen, is just hold these people who ask you for money to a very, very, very high standard, especially in the card community, especially with how much fraud and scam and stuff that's gone on. The card market and card prices, we actually rarely talk about this on this channel. Usually it's about the scammers and the people involved with cards. But let's touch on this briefly. I think it's painfully obvious what's happening with cards. It's going to trend as the broader economy goes. You've got, gas prices $6 to $7 in some places out here in California. You've got food prices skyrocketing. You've got inflation. You've got the cost of everybody's lives going up. They're not going to be sitting around buying sports cards. I mean, that just seems painfully obvious. And I think we're going to be in a year to 2 to 3 years of this kind of in a little, your cards are going to be flatlined and down, except in some very specific examples. So can we stop talking about cards as investments? At best, you should be looking at cards as like inventory. You get them in, you get them out, you get them in, you get them out. You figure out a way to move them. You get a big old whole deal of them and you package them out. Cards should be considered like inventory, not investments like stocks or real estate. Or here's 2 examples. Better investments in sports cards. Pearl Jam posters. Every single Pearl Jam poster, probably 99.9% of them, have gone up in value since the existence of the band in the early 1990s. Every single one of them. Pearl Jam posters are a better investment than freaking sports cards. How about the $4.5 million guitar that Kurt Cobain used in the Smells Like Teen Spirit video, on the Nevermind album, on the last album, In Utero? $4.5 million. There shouldn't be a baseball card, a sports card in existence. I don't care who's on it, what condition, who slabbed it. That's worth worth more than that guitar. Guarantee you. So those are my thoughts on the sports card market. If you're a little kid out there and you don't understand the broader economy, you might want to, flip around on YouTube. I'm sure there's some channels or some people that can kind of tune you in. Hey, stocks are tanking, food prices are going up, gas prices are sky high. Nobody's going to be buying baseball cards probably for at least a year or two. Those are my thoughts. Let's talk PSA UPCharges. I do not grade cards. I literally don't think I've ever even sent any cards to be graded before, personally. So I buy a lot of graded cards that are already slabbed, but I don't send in a lot of cards to be graded, so I don't encounter this problem. But PSA, what they do is if you send them an expensive card and it gets a really high grade, like a 9 or a 10, they want to upcharge you and charge you more because now the card's worth more, and they need to insure it for more. So I'll come up with actually a real easy solution how they actually won't have to do that. But I want to read from you. It turns out the beloved owner of the company, Mr. Nat Turner. Maybe you guys need to hold Nat Turner to his highest standard as you hold me. Please comment on his little feed or whatever, wherever he posts about his little collection. Hold this guy to a high standard. There's still a backlog over there at PSA. Come on now, tighten up. Anyways, turns out your little boy, Nat Turner, he doesn't like the PSA UPCharges either. Just shortly before he bought the company in 2019, here's what he said on a post that I'll link to in the video description about the PSA UPCharges. I'm going to read from it. I just got my grades back on a bulk order, and one of the cards is a 1998 Tim Duncan to 40 worth less than $2,000 raw. The card got a PSA 9, and PSA just came back trying to charge me an extra $1,000 to keep it in the holder. That feels like extortion, honestly. This is all coming from the mouth of the current PSA owner. In my opinion, it's really BS how PSA tries to charge the collector more depending on the grade they get versus the true cost to grade the card. And he also went in this post to talk about how the declared value they often use, PSA uses, is from auctions that have been shilled. Hey, so like I said, I don't grade a lot of cards, don't encounter this problem, don't see that I ever will. Here's an easy solution for PSA. Hey, your insurance or whatever you're using this upcharge money for cost a certain amount of money. Okay, right? Maybe it's like $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $5 million, $10 million, $100 million. I don't know what it is per year. Bake that into the price of every single thing that you grade. PSA grades like millions of things. Okay, charge 50 cents or 25 cents more now for everything. Make everybody kind of pay for this blanket and insurance. And yeah, Nat Turner, hey buddy, you own the company. You've encountered this problem. It is basically kind of like extortion. You send in a really nice card, they grade it just like any other thing they've graded, and now they want to charge you $1,000, $2,000 more. It's a joke. It's a joke. That's why I don't send anything into these companies. For one, they're incompetent. They can't tell trim cards, altered cards. They still can't do that. Still haven't admitted to that because they don't want to pay out the insurance. But anyways, bake in the cost of this stuff to everyone. So all these stupid base cards that people are sending you, charge them an extra 50 cents. So it bakes into the cost of everything. Anyways. Quickly on Brian Grace suing CeeDee Lamb. Hopefully we'll get CeeDee Lamb's side of the story. First of all, I hope every single athlete, and especially every single black athlete, looks at this and never signs with Leaf ever again. Or certainly thinks about it twice. Giannis Antetokounmpo sued Brian Gray and Leaf for using his autograph and his nicknames after his contract with Leaf had expired. So Brian Gray kind of looks at these contracts to his advantage. Like, he'll just put Giannis stickers far after he was supposed to. And then if CeeDee Lamb, who knows the reason why he didn't sign these cards? Let's wait to hear his reasoning. He sues him. So hopefully every single athlete, hopefully every single black athlete especially, looks at this and be like, forget this guy. I don't want his few grand. I could do better. Hopefully maybe there's some other competing companies that'll come along. But this is stupid. This is a stupid business decision. There'll be people out there that, oh, Brian Gray's doing this for us and he's trying to end redemptions. And no, he's not. He'll literally use Antetokounmpo, who had to sue him, but then he'll sue CeeDee Lamb for not signing for him? Brian Gray's a fraud. He's a clown. And if you're an agent or anybody who represents any of these players out there, you could do better. You can get better autograph deals from other people. Don't waste your time with this clown. He might sue you. God.